Hello, my friends. It's a new year, it's a new time, and this new year has been fraught with changes. Some we have decided were good, and some we have decided were bad. Today, many different and maybe opposing emotions are coursing through our minds and bodies. You may feel out of control and anxious, unsure, and like all around you is instability. In one moment, and yet the very next moment, a calm assurance that all will return to normal if you can only wait it out. These are some of the things that we want to talk to you about today. We're calling the topic of this Little Talk Choices. Choices. Let me tell you that you are more powerful than you know. You control your destiny and actually that of those around you by the choices that you make. You see, the Creator being has given you all things that pertain to life and godliness. In other words, He has given you the power and authority to rule in the earth and the ability to create what you need to sustain your life and that of those around you, though your cohabitants in this earth. You are wiser and more capable than you have chosen to accept. However, with power and authority comes responsibility. Most of us want the power without suffering the consequences for the decisions or choices which we make. So we choose to abdicate that authority and that responsibility for our own choices. Now, recently, we have seen much unrest and unruliness in this country of the United States of America. Doesn't seem like we're very united. And we seem divided. But what I have learned over my years of living, which is now 71 plus years on this earth, is that when people tell us who they are and what their intentions are, we must choose to believe and accept that. We do not have the authority to change them. We are only responsible for our own decisions and choices. And those decisions and choices will not only affect you, but they will affect those around you. And with that comes a responsibility to answer and own up to the choices that we make. And so the position that we are in today, here in our United States of America, is a result of the choices many of us have made. Yes, some of us may not have voted for different ones, but we left the decisions to make clear, concise choices to others for our lives. And we all are connected. We all are connected. So your decision, whether you believe it or not, really affects your neighbor. And that's important for us to know. As I've said before, you are wiser and more capable than you have chosen to accept. However, with power and authority comes responsibility. Most of us want the power without suffering the consequences for the decisions or choices which we make. Today, if you want freedom, you must look freedom in the face and commit to making clear, concise choices. As you take action to perform the duties necessary to seeing those decisions take form. In other words, the results. Because with our thoughts come action, and with action, it produces results. And so, what we're seeing happening today are the results of our actions, our thoughts, and our decisions. I think about, this has come to mind to me many times, is that I was with my husband since I was 19 years old. And he passed away in 2016. And so in that coupling was truly ordained by God. 2 weeks after, or within 2 weeks of our dating, my husband told me that he knew that I was his wife. And I had no such idea. I liked him. I was drawn to him. I was not even aware that what I was feeling was really love, because I had an idea of what love was supposed to feel like. It wasn't that giddy feeling I thought you were supposed to have, that whatever excitement, but I was so drawn to him. I was so comfortable with him. And when we were apart, I felt like something was missing. I came to realize that that was really love. That was really intentional. And so it was ordained, but the relationship to go further had to come that way with decision and choice. And when he made the decision to ask me to marry him or to tell me, as I so often tell that story, that we would get married, I could have accepted, I could have rejected. I chose to accept. And it was evident because I moved forward in making preparations and taking the actions necessary to make that come to fruition. And though many people didn't understand it and thought it was not the right coupling, many did think it was the right coupling. But regardless of what others thought, we too had to make the decision to move forward and to become a couple. And we did. And we lived together and developed, created a family, a ministry, and we loved one another. But there were times when I had to make decisions, just like he did, about certain things. And after there were years that there were things that were clear to me that I was strong in and that he was strong in. There were things that I was weak in, and there were things that he was weak in. And our coming together was to solidify that family with our own strengths and abilities, and them not always being the same. There were many times when I abdicated my responsibility because of what outside influence told me was supposed to happen in my family. The man to do this and the woman should do that. And I accepted those things, which caused havoc because I accepted what I knew was not correct. Let me just tell you, we all have a knowing. As the Creator, the Infinite, has given us each the ability to know things, to accept things. We call it intuition. For that's what we'll say, or we'll say something told me. But we know with a quiet assurance when that little voice inside of us, that intuition tells us what we should do or what we should not do, what is right, what is wrong about that decision. It is still our choice to accept it or to reject it. And we have to accept the consequences of that decision. Sometimes we stick with decisions that we make, or we make a decision based on what we feel is normal, what we feel is, or what we think others might say or do, instead of listening to our own intuition, our own inner voice, knowing that when we made it, we even did not feel that peace within when we made that decision. Let me just say, the choice is yours. You have the power and the authority to make your life better. And what is better for you, what is good for you, it is for you. You cannot make the decision for your life partner or for anyone else. Your children, based on your knowledge of what is good for you. But you can make that decision for yourself. And when you make that decision, then you have to be ready to accept the responsibility for the results of those actions that you have taken, that the choice that you have made. I will say that toward the end of my husband's life, toward the end, he was suffering from dementia. But I had become so accustomed to discussing and um, things with him, decisions that had to be made, even though I knew he did not have clarity um, of understanding in some cases to make the correct decision, and that decision was going to have to be mine. I still would come to him and talk to him, and what um, it was just out of respect and familiarity. But ultimately, the decision had to be mine. And I realized that I had done this over the years, over the course of many years, when I could lay back and say, oh, well, my husband said this, so it's his decision. And if it fails or if something's wrong, it was on him. But actuality, it was really on me. We tend to abdicate our authority and power because we do not want to accept the responsibility because of fear of failure or fear of even being right in some things that we know this is what will be the result. And so we abdicate. Or other people might think something is strange about me because I did this way. You have to learn to stand in your place and to stand firm and sure in the decisions and the choices that you make. First of all, if you pray about it, you will get an answer. It may not always be the answer that you want or clearly understand, but you will get an answer. But it's up to you to make the decision, to obey, to hear, to if you don't understand, to get an understanding, and to move forward. The choice is yours. In this day, the choice is still yours. The choice is still yours as to which road to take. The power and the authority that you abdicate not only affects you, but it affects the people around you. Remember, you have choices. You make decisions. And you are more powerful, have more authority, have more wisdom than you realize. Stop. think about the choice that you're about to make. Will it make things better? Will it be advantageous to more than just yourself? Is it really what you want and love? Remember, your Creator is love, and as His children, as His creation, you were created in love. Love should rule in every decision. Love should rule. Not fear, not anxiety, and certainly not hate. Until next time, bye bye.